Hello everyone, welcome to the Dubai's World channel. Yesterday as we completed the introductory part of a polio disease, so today we are going to start with the pathogenesis of a polio disease. Actually, the pathogenesis of a polio disease consists of four different phases. First, the elementary phase, second lymphatic phase, third viremic phase, and the fourth neurological phase. Here, entry in the host cell. When the virus enter into the host cell through oral or a fecal-oral route, this phase is called as a elementary phase. Actually, it's mostly this viruses enter into the host cell other way also, like through inhalation, but mostly it entered into the host cell by a oral route. So after the getting into the host cell, there are number of cells are present. Cells are present in the host cell as a receptor cell to bind with this polio virus. So when they enter into the host cell, then I said the number of receptor cells are there. That receptor cells are composed of Ig, that's not protein, where the cells going to bind in the pharynx and intestinal mucosa. Once it will bind to the pharynx and intestinal mucosa cell, they're having the PVR, that is a poliovirus receptor, which is composed of a protein. So after binding to this PVR receptor, that is nothing but called as this PVR receptor cells, also called as a CD155. It's present on cell membrane. Once it binds to the cell membrane, this PVR receptor CD155 on the cell membrane, the viruses spreads to the tonsils and multiply in the pair patches. At the time, the pair patches, then the local multiplication will takes place, and this phase is called as lymphatic phase. Once the viruses are going to be multiplied in the lymphatic phase, the viruses absorb into the bloodstream, and once they absorb into the bloodstream, that will form minor primary viremia. Viremia is nothing but it's a condition where the viruses meet with the bloods, same like a bacteremia, where the bacteria meets with the bloodstream. After this minor and primary viremia, the this viruses multiplies in a endoepithelial system. Systems, and again enters in a blood. After the primary viremia, again after once they enter into the primary viremia, they multiply in the reticuloepithelial system and again enter into the bloodstream. And this is known as a secondary viremia. Secondary viremia. Then this phase is called as viremic phase. After this viremic phase, the polioviruses can survive and multiply within the blood and lymphatic for at least 17 weeks. After when this viremic phase, this blood stream will reach to the spinal cord. Either with the help of a blood or directly, and again there they multiplies in a neurons. Once they multiply in a neurons, the lesions are mostly in anterior horns of a spinal cord, which cause flaccid paralysis. Flaccid paralysis is nothing but it's a neurological condition that is mostly characterized for a weakness or a paralysis. Once the host get a flaccid paralysis, that also can cause, at the time the patient can may get this things like encephalitis, which involve brainstem, second motor and the premotor areas of a cerebral cortex. Once again we are going to revise this. Here, once the viruses enter into the host cell through a oral or a fecal-oral route, that phase is known as a elementary phase. After entry into the host cell, this viruses bind to the PVR, poliovirus receptor, that are present in the cells of pharynx and the intestinal mucosa. This PVR, also called as CD155, which is always present on the cell membrane of a pharynx and the intestinal mucosa, where they are going to multiply and forming a lymphatic phase. Once they reach to the lymphatic phase, this viruses spread to the tonsils and multiply in the Peyer's patches. This phase is lymphatic phase. After this lymphatic phase, the multiplied viruses enter into the viruses is absorbed into the bloodstream, and that first stage is known as a minor or a primary viremia, where after entering into the minor or primary viremia, again they multiply in reticuloepithelial system, and after multiplying in the reticuloepithelial system, they enters into the bloodstream again, and this is nothing but a secondary viremia, and this primary and secondary viremia phase is nothing but a viremic phase. Once they pass through the secondary phase, again they will reach to the spinal cord by the bloodstream or by direct also, but mostly through the bloodstream. And after the reaching to the spinal cord, it again multiply in the neurons, and the lesions are mostly in the anterior horns of a spinal, which cause a flaccid paralysis. And this is nothing but a neurological condition where the weakness or a paralysis of the respective parts we can see, that may also can cause encephalitis, which involve a brainstem